Lovely to be here after a little break for the summer, for the Easter. I'm a little bit flustered because, as usual, not surprising to me, I have a little bit of technical hitches last minute, but I'm here now. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Jill Brennan, a Reconnective Healing Practitioner, and my channel is called Let's Reconnect because essentially we are sharing reconnective healing. And with the reconnective healing alongside it is teaching, because I find that the teaching helps to bring a freedom, a joy. It does. It just helps you to realign with a sense of why we're here, meaning and purpose. And one thing that I have learned in the 5 years, I'm going to take my glasses off unless I'm reading because I know that we'll get glare. In the 5 years now, more actually, about 7 years actually, why am I saying 5? 2015, I trained with Eric Pearl and Gillian in London, and I recognize these high vibrational frequencies as Holy Spirit. My background is as a minister of religion. I've been studying theology for many years, and a master's degree in theology and religious studies. I did my dissertation looking at mysticism, trying to get to the heart of what do the religions share at their core. And I feel as though in reconnective healing, it's kind of brought me to a continuation and a fulfillment of what I felt as an earlier calling, because it's a practical tool to enable us to step into this little space of eternity where we experience oneness, and to rediscover the soul in a modern context, perhaps dropping some of the religious language that some of us might struggle with, and not needing even to use language at all to explain it, just to be in awe of it as we experience it. So I'm talking a little bit today about the heart, and the heart as an electro-magnetic conductor and transmitter. Let me just have a look who's here. Put my glasses on. Julie, hi, good morning. Beautiful. Dearest Jill. Good. I hope you can hear me all right. I'm using a lap mic today just so that I've got more freedom. Let me know if the sound is good. I hope it is. Who else have I got? Nick, hi. Struggling with a little bit of anxiety, yeah. And fearful thinking recently, so this is very welcome. Yeah, good. I also read a message earlier from somebody, I think it was on my latest video that I uploaded, and it was somebody who was really in a place of struggling with heartache, broken up with their boyfriend, feeling betrayal and just agonizing rawness of loss, of grief that one feels when a relationship ends. So I've hoped that person might join us today, and if not, we'll be watching later. So we are going to be sitting in the space of the heart, which will feel raw, but I'm going to talk us through it. There is a way that we can do this that will take us right to the heart of healing, and so that we can experience a temporary release from the story that's going on. Of the small self, and just experience that bliss of eternal love that upholds us all the time and by which we're connected. Let's see, Dawn, hello Dawn. Yeah, oh, the sound is great, good. Okay, good. Dear Jill, I broke up a portion of my neck and looking forward to today's energy. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. So we need physical healing, and I hope you're not in too much pain. We're going to be sharing. I won't talk too much, we'll get straight into, and I hope to do at least 10 minutes of just bathing in the frequencies today. You look radiant. Tried to get some lighting set up here. Got a light here and a light here because it can be quite dark. I know where I'm sitting when I'm recording live. I'm always aware of that later when I look back. It's sort of, and I can't do anything about it. I can't brighten it. with a live stream. You can't edit it at all. Hi Claire, nice to see you. Good, glad we're here. So I'm talking about the heart, and the heart being an electromagnetic conductor. And you know, this reconnective healing is electrical. It has this feeling tangibly of electricity, because we feel it as tingles and little sort of sensations. If you hold your hands now, even as I'm holding my hands now and talking about reconnective healing, my thumb is starting to twitch. I'm also getting a twitching here. So there's a circuitry to the body, to the soul. If you have been watching my last two videos, the last 2 weeks, I'm doing a series called Soulful Living, and we're thinking about the soul and what the soul is. And the soul is, as it were, being the container of mind, body, spirit. And I like to think of it like an egg or a capsule that's around us. And certainly some people talk about the etheric layer and the astral body and all this. You know, the point is that the heart generates an electromagnetic signal, and it's like a conductor but also a transmitter, and this signal extends beyond the body. There's something called heart math, I think it is. You can look it up. There's a website all about it, and this is a thing. This is, you know, they can measure it. They can measure the frequencies that your heart would on a machine, and it's outside the body. And so we're going to sit in the heart. The heart is the seat of the soul, and it's in the place of the heart. All the mystics taught this, where the separation collapses and we're in a field of oneness. And I really believe that this is where this reconnective healing is taking me, certainly in my understanding and my teaching. And as I'm thinking about you and my heart is open to you, that seems to be activating it. So where we bring our attention, we start to activate it. So I'm going to invite you now, find a quiet place, sit or lie down, and just take a few deep breaths. And in the taking of those few deep breaths, just to bring your awareness to the present moment now, and to mentally shifting from the role self to the soul self. The teaching is we are souls having an earthly experience. And the remembrance of that just shifts the vibration. Because for a few moments now we're going to create this space, this sacred space of stepping into a little pocket of eternity where the separation collapses. We collapse time and space. And if you don't believe me, then we're going to experience it in a moment, because I'm going to activate the reconnective healing frequencies and you will feel them where you are. I'm sitting here in my little cottage in Cornwall. You might be in the USA. I know you might be in Ireland. I'm trying to think where you're from. These people here, I know that you're a long way physically, geographically from where I am. And yet there is an immediacy to you feeling the sensations with me. Similarly, if you're watching later, there is a distance in time. You might be watching this later this evening, or in a few days or weeks or even months' time, and you will feel something in the immediacy of now. And that's because we're stepping into this field, this quantum field of oneness. So just be open to receive. When I receive, you receive. And that's all I am doing. I am just activating the frequencies to receive. I can hear, we're live, somebody has parked outside. I think it might be a delivery van. Roy's making a little noise. He always wants to be with me when I record. So he'll settle in a moment, but we'll keep going anyway. Okay, so just bring yourself to the heart and be open to receive. Okay. It always feels very peaceful. I wanted to just explain that when I'm moving my hands, in case you are new, I'm not doing anything, I'm not making any signs or symbols or anything like that. I'm just aware that I need to talk up because so that you can hear what I'm saying. I'm just playing, feeling the frequencies, feeling the flow, feeling the frequencies. I want to just check in with how you are as physically, something physical, and I just wanted to ask if you have any pain. I think it's dawn. Thank you, Lynn. It's a bit cold today, so I put my jumper on. Let's have a look. Lynn. The 5th anniversary of my father's death and finally addressing the grief. Yeah. And you know, the thing about grief is this moving in, stepping into eternity in the place of the soul, this oneness field, is that there is no separation, really. It's a place of complete communion with those who are no longer here in the flesh. Remember what I said in the video? Please do go back and watch if you haven't seen it already. There's 2 up there, and I recorded the 3rd actually this morning, about the soul. The first one is about what is the soul, 3 myths, dispelling 3 myths. The second one is about vibrational frequency. This is why it links with what we're doing in Reconnective Healing. And we're saying when we turn the dial up, when the dial is lower in these, we show up as a materiality. But the turning of the dial, the raising of the frequency just takes us to a different dimensional reality. Okay, I'm getting tingles even as I said that. And so we're switching dimensions. We are multi-dimensional beings. That's the soul. And the soul isn't just in that we are in the body, that we are. I am a soul. You are a soul. And so when we miss people who have passed, who are no longer here in materiality, we connect with them in the heart, and it's real. It's real. This isn't just sentimental. It's not remembering. It's not just, being nostalgic and having happy memories. That's not all that you're left with. You're left with a very real connection, because there is no separation in reality. So turning up that dial, sitting at the heart with the heart, is a very real, and we can communicate by thought as well. We can just talk and a thought will come back, and this is how we get to continue our connection and communication with our loved ones. Nick, I felt very cold suddenly, and that went, and towards the end, I was almost like I could feel something heavy in between my hands. Yeah, almost like a heavy air. Anyway, it felt lovely, yeah. You can feel, I think I know what you mean, that if you hold your hands, sometimes it feels like waves. You can feel a pulsing. It's as though, sometimes I've had it so powerfully, it is as though the skin, my hands, you almost expect to see them moving, swelling and then receding, swelling and then receding, because the pulsating is so powerful. Yeah. In fact, I've had a couple of sessions recently where one-to-one sessions with people. I always do video call with the phone, usually WhatsApp. And when I just move in the session, if I move because I uncross my legs, or sometimes I like to stand up and just move, the phone just cracks, makes a loud crack. The device is picking up on the strength of these electrical signals. And I think I mentioned to you once before with Jan, I don't know if Jan's here today, I don't think she is here, I'm just glancing, I think Jan. Anyway, she'll be watching later, and she is a psychic, and she's quite used to these energies, and we couldn't talk at the end. The voice was going in and out, and it was just doing weird things that our phones, we couldn't even communicate. It's definitely something electrical in it. Yeah. Janet, very peaceful. I felt warmth flowing from my shoulders down my arms and a tingling on the palms of my hands. I've never felt that same warmth before, during reconnective healing. It's interesting because I think that it's accumulative. I do think there is an entrainment that comes, and the more we do this and the more we sit in the power, I do feel that it strengthens because we pick up from where we left off. You know, it's just an accumulative thing. Yeah, it's good to hear. Paul, hi, I didn't see you'd arrived in the middle of the US. I know. When I first started doing reconnective healing, I felt such an imposter, just sort of saying I'll do reconnective healing sessions, you know, because I don't know, I just was still amazed by it and never sure. And when people would actually say at the end that they'd felt things, I didn't know I couldn't account for that, because I didn't, you know, I knew I hadn't trained for years and years, and it wasn't something I could claim any credit for as a practitioner, as a therapist. It's not about that. There's a humility that comes with this, about stepping out of the role self. This is why the teaching is important to go with it. I don't diagnose, you know. It's not about any technique or method that I'm trained in. But it's real. It's real. And the more we do it, the more, and it's led me to returning to really go deep into the theology, in particular mysticism. And this is why I call my website Unitive Mysticism, because I at a human level, I want to try and find an explanation from it, but it's taken me back through the Jewish Kabbalistic route, because of course Eric Pearl and first came to these energies through the book the Keys of Enoch. Those of you who know the story, and that is by J.J. Hertak, and that's a Jewish mystical text. Anyway, Lynn, no, let me just see, who was it? Dawn, who was it that said they had pain in their neck, or they had a problem physically? I just want to check in and see if somebody is feeling any relief, and do let me know, because with things like aches and pains, there can be a real immediate change through activating these frequencies. And what you're doing is you are activating the soul, your soul. So it's you that's doing the healing. It's this ground of oneness. And it's just lifting your vibration back to your prototype. Yeah. So it can, but it shows up in the material, and maybe it's maybe there's an adjustment in the etheric first of all, and then it shows up in the material. Don't really know. just saying that it's quite immediate though, in terms of its in terms of how we see it manifested. Yeah, I did. I feel relief. Dawn, good. I have neck pain. Well, I hope that continues, Dawn, for the rest of the day, and that you notice a difference even waking up tomorrow. Often I find that with people who have some sort of aches and pains, usually they'll say I slept, and then the next day it wasn't, you know, they found an immediate difference. Oh, I've so loved being with you today. I just look at the time. Yeah. I really have, and I do look forward to these sessions. And I do think, Claire, as you say, the more we come and sit in the power, you know, we all get stronger. There is this entrainment, and you will feel it. You will feel it even when you're just at home. When you take a little bit of time later on in the day and just stop a few moments and then remember and think about it, you will find the tingling will be activated, because there's a process by which this is part of this transforming of the whole. Yeah, Eric Pearl talked about this. He used to say that in his book, The Reconnection, he said the time will come when you'll just be sitting next to somebody on a train, and they will pick it up from you, you know. And it's because of our oneness. So I really felt the reconnection. I began to remember last nights of my mother who passed 2 years ago. Paul saying, Good, good. Oh, I love it. I love it. So, thank you for joining me, those of you who are here live. I feel so blissed out for the rest of the day. It's just lovely to sit quietly after I've been live with you, and I'll see you next week at the same time. Next week I'll be here. I will be uploading on Tuesday. As I say, the teachings really match with the practice of activating the frequencies. So so please, yeah, make sure that you do go back and watch, and I'll link them at the end. I'll be able to link them here because I can go in and edit that. But bless you. Thank you for watching. Take care. All my love, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.